Have you ever found yourself resorting to dishonesty just to get someone to leave you alone? In this video, we're exploring why honesty is crucial in relationships and why resorting to lies might not be the best approach. Let's get started. Original post. What lies do you tell women to make them leave you alone? Inspired by a similar post on our Ask Women. Curious because I don't understand why lying would be necessary. Have you ever found yourself tempted to tell a lie to avoid unwanted attention? How did you handle it? Let's learn from each other and strive for more authentic connections in our lives.
Whatever it is, I've seemed to have mastered it.
I had it once. I said I don't feel well. She knew I was lying. She worked in HR for my company. I lost my role soon after.
This one was something my best friend once said to a girl in college who kept bothering him when he was actively dating her friend. Him. You ever look at a guy and think, man, that guy's really good looking. I have no chance with him? You know, even if it's a celebrity or something? Her. Yeah, I guess. Him. Well, I may not be that good looking, but put me in that category.
That response is the shower rumination level of elaborate and witty LML.
The worst they can say is no. She's gonna think back on that in the afterlife. God damn.
Get super clingy and tell her you love her and all that psycho stuff. Outcling the clinger.
She's an erotomaniac, checkmate.
Nah, I know women that would jump at a man like that. Source, I am a clingy man wanted on several counts of love bombing.
I once told a woman I still wasn't over my ex and didn't know if I ever would be. It worked like a charm, so I have used it several other times. Doesn't hurt if you won't let them play music because every song reminds you of her.
Good to know I said this, and it eventually worked. But I meant it. The problem is, I'm a bad liar.
I have a boyfriend.
Acting gay makes them more comfortable around you, LOL.
Depending on the woman, they may even get more handy with you, LMAO. I've heard about the women fetishizing gay dudes phenomenon more than once.
Don't need to lie, go all sad sack, and have a pity party. They usually leave you alone after that. Learn that from the Robert Pattinson story with him and his stalker. I've used it myself when I started seeing a woman like me who shouldn't work like a charm.
Out of curiosity, how much depth do you go into with the pity party tactic? I know you're not offering advice, so feel free to ignore, but I was seeing this guy only for a month or two. He's never been in a real relationship. I asked him on a serious date and, IDK, he got sad and it ended. He sent me a 10-minute voice message detailing his emotional baggage, fear of abandonment, and said he's so stressed with life he can't think straight. He faded out, ghosted throughout the following month. I want to reach out, but he's still avoiding me, seek mutual friends like the plague, and it's been 2 months. I feel like it's wrong not to reach out at some point, but also just can't see the 100% avoidance as anything more than a polite fuck off. Ugh.
I don't think it's the same thing. Obviously, it's just a guess. But it sounds more like he didn't want or believe he was ready for y'all's something to head towards the serious. Using the emotional health thing as the excuse. Reaching out would be the kind thing to do, but it's possible that it was a smokescreen, as all he wants or thinks he can handle is something casual. I tell them I have multiple baby mamas and kids that I don't get to see.
It's interesting to hear how others handle unwanted attention. Personally, I think honesty is usually the best policy. But I understand that sometimes people resort to lies to avoid confrontation. Let's keep going.
Do you have any kids? I don't know.
I told a stripper that I was gay. She called me on my bluff and decided to tell me her life story.
Tell them you're poor. Works most of the time.
Told that to a girl the first night we met. We're getting married in 2 weeks.
Unless you're unemployed, you live with your parents, and your name is George Costanza.
No, baby, you don't look fat. All the fat are in the right places.
You don't look fat. You are fat, the absolute personification of human obesity and heart disease. Why, yes, I am single. How could you tell, Flawley?
I know 5 fat people, and you're 4 of them, is still my favorite, I've been told, LOL.
Yup. Just say you ran out of money or that they'll have to pay for the dates from then on, and they'll disappear before you can finish that sentence. LMAO.
I'll take problems I'll never have for 500 there, Ken.
But goddamn is it awful if it does happen. Once at an old retail job, a coworker literally chased me around a table as I told her to leave me alone. The sheer audacity of the situation still lingers in my mind, nearly a decade later.
1. Let her know I'm broke as a joke. 2. I'm not really looking for a commitment right now. My second cousin's hamster died when I was in 6th grade. Between that and 9/11, I'm doing a lot of processing. Don't worry, we can still bang though.
I've had the second one happen. It hurt so badly. And then he started stalking me when I pulled away from him. The tables have turned.
I know I look 6'3", but I'm actually 5'11".
Tell her you like Andrew Tate. Feminism is cancer and abortion is murder. She's gone. Guaranteed.
Bold of you to assume women approach men.
Poor hygiene works.
Oh my God, I'm in serious financial trouble. I guarantee she will even delete your number.
Let's get married in the courthouse tomorrow and have 5 kids.
Leave me alone, bitch. Why lie? Say the truth. Be toxic.
Tried this once. It didn't work.
I'm poor. I'm going to bed. I'm married. I have a girlfriend. No hablo inglés. I have a headache.
Oh, I just be myself. Tell the truth and nothing but it. Women abhor the truth.
You could tell them you're poor.
I can just show them my beat-up 15-year-old Honda Fit, and they'll immediately head for the nearest trailer park to find better options.
Once I told a very repulsive chick at the bar that was bugging me that I was gay and not interested, lol. She called me a faggot and walked away, haha, mission accomplished.
Oh, I just be myself. Tell the truth and nothing but it. Women abhor the truth.
My best friend once told a junior he was dating freshman year that he was confused about himself to break up with her.
A girl was 2 with her head over heels, and here we call it acting out like you are the last biscuit on the package. I sent her a video of a street bum philosophizing. If she acts like she is the last biscuit on the package, that means you have to eat all the others before it's her turn.
I am a gamer and I use 4chan and Reddit.
I was fit and good-looking when I was young. Now I'm fit and weird-looking, LOL. And though I'm sure it didn't happen as much to me as pretty much any woman, there were times when one wouldn't leave me alone. I told one I have a micro penis. She asked if it's big, and she replied saying she'd have to see it to believe it. Saying I had a girlfriend didn't make a difference. Actually, the opposite, because then I guess it's a challenge. But the one that worked was a simple, sorry, I'm gay, until they decide they want to hang out and check out guys together. So it became, I'm gay and have a boyfriend.
It's important to remember that everyone deserves respect, and finding a way to set boundaries politely can be more effective in the long run. Let's keep reading.
I'm a divorced 44-year-old man with 2 teenage kids. I have a few lady friends that I see from time to time, but nothing like a serious girlfriend situation. Sometimes I'll say, my kids are coming over to either get the lady to leave my place or as an excuse to not be able to see her on a given evening.
I mentioned my imaginary wife, so she thinks I'm not single if I am not interested in her.
I don't. I just tell them I need space, and they leave me alone.
No lies, I'm not interested. Please leave me alone. If that don't work, get the fuck away from me, cunt.
If I sense she will respond to rejection with drama, I sometimes pretend to be homosexual.
I only go to it if they are relentless. When they ask why I won't talk to them, I reply, because I have standards. It's mean, I know, but I only use it if they don't take no for an answer the first time. I don't like being hit on, and I want to remain single. I don't want a woman running interference in my life, so I decline them all.
I guess I've got one that happened 14 years ago. A girl I was friends with fell in love. In hindsight, we were basically dating and we had hooked up, but I guess I never viewed it like that. Why? Because my friends were a bunch of trolls and my dumbass listened to. Without getting into a very long story about what happened with my buddies, when she admitted her true feelings to me, I said I wasn't interested. Truthfully, I was, but I didn't know how to express it. And in the back of my mind, I could hear my buddies saying, "Why would you be with her? Blah, blah." Let me tell you, watching her cry for the next 30 minutes in the car while we sat in silence was one of the worst things I've ever experienced. And I felt fucking horrible, but there was no going back. I cried a little after, so now I'm just brutally honest.
I don't. I just, phrasing it politely, tell them I'm not interested. Most women can take no for an answer, largely because they generally have to deal with men who don't know how to take it for an answer.
Oh man, this is like the opposite of the truth. Anytime I have ever seen a woman get rejected by a man, the situation always became extremely ugly. I get the sense that women rejecting men regularly give some of them an ego about it, and they are offended when a man dares to reject her since so many guys want her. Even in situations where the situation didn't escalate to physical violence or a public meltdown, they seem to take it incredibly personally. It's absurd.
I'm not a man, but to OP's comment about not understanding why a woman might lie to a man to get them to leave her alone, there is a pretty scary statistic explaining exactly why they might lie if a man is bothering them. Very, very common for older or unwell strangers to approach and borderline harass us, and we say things like, "My friends are about to pick me up," or something to get out of the situation.
It's also universally known that men don't take rejection very well. It bruises their ego, and then they feel compelled to call you a dumb slut, or some iteration of this. There's also the ever-present concern that they may get violent. I've heard women take rejection worse, LOL.
I told a drunk chick I had herpes. That stopped her real quick, LOL. I don't have it, BTW.
I've never needed to do that. I had to block one woman once because she wouldn't leave me alone after guilt-tripping me into sleeping with her raw when I wasn't comfortable with it. And she kept texting when I asked for some time to think about it afterwards. But I didn't feel the need to lie to her. I just laid out my boundaries, and when she violated them, I blocked her.
Weird dynamics have occurred in a few jobs. When I appear disinterested and professional, some only want me more. It seems they want to break my professionalism. What I do when it gets to be overbearing is act as though I am the one who suddenly mutually finds them captivating and unbelievably attractive. Eventually, they perceive me as desperate and no longer have interest.
I just tell them I'm bi, and that does the trick 99% of the time. Sometimes I have to kiss a dude to prove it. Oh no.
I just sort of act dumb. If I found a guy, I would just want like a FWB thing, nothing serious. Yeah, that sounds great. If I found a woman who wanted something like that, that'd be nice. Being emotionally available usually works faster than that, though.
I don't have to lie, just pretend I'm stupid all the way until either they stop hinting at it or straight up say it, and then you just have to actually outright reject them in a non-hurtful way. Controversial take, but I think women actually get hurt more from rejection. Most guys had enough to get used to it and simply not care. A lot of women have never been rejected, so it's a shock to their ego and might even call you gay, or perhaps they're understanding, and just move on.
While it may be tempting to resort to lies to avoid uncomfortable situations, embracing honesty ultimately leads to deeper connections and mutual respect. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.